what it is.
Yeah. They lost. They try to get the judge to throw out the they lost.
Which is in fact a Democrat.
Seriously, they've been together for like a few years. You know she dang. They've been together. How did y'all two not know that? They've been together for at least almost 3 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was surprised they lasted that long.
I got a feeling your daughter's hiding something.
Girl, they keep stuff behind the camera.
You think I am?
We gotta get HBO.
At Dell Technologies, we started by making the cloud easier to manage. But we didn't stop there. We made a cloud flexible enough to adapt to any size business, no matter what it does or how it changes. And we kept going, so you only pay for what you use.
Okay, what is
Because
the
at Dell Technologies,
you see them slippers?
at nothing.
Yeah.
They're $100.
They're not comfortable, Ma.
They're not?
I had a friend who bought a pair whenever we was in school, and she let me try them on. They're not comfortable. Mm-mm. The bottom feel it's like. I mean, they're cute. They're just not comfortable.
Wait, is it the piano song that Cardi B was rapping to?
No.
No, the shoes.
I heard some lazy. No, don't put that on my bed.
But yeah, if it feels like they got cardboard sitting underneath a layer of fabric. It's hard.
Vision, including exams, frames, lenses, and contacts.
No, I
And
know.
prescription drug coverage.
You, Corinne, and Etta have not been nowhere together. Somebody got to deal with 3 of y'all, because she is your mom. I never seen Jessica look like she bought a coma. Oh, really?
No.
She done pop off queen. Oh, for real? Please, every time we got into something, it usually be her or Ella. And it's always y'all crazy together. And then they get mad, I cuss everybody out. Cuss everybody out.
This is a mask
And I cuss them out
that prevents the spread of coronavirus. This is not a political statement.
Again, I first cussed Kiki out. Ella said, well, she thought she was immune to getting cussed out by you. I said, we all get cussed out.
CPAP system,
I said, I don't know what she thought.
really
But now she
getting it
knows.
clean. The health risks
Just
of
say,
contaminated
that's crazy.
CPAP can be risky because it introduces germs into your CPAP machine, mask, hose, and chamber, leading to multiple health problems from viruses and infections.
She got that.
CPAP cleaner that kills more than 90%.
Can I get my dog?
Use the same revolutionary used by hospitals with pure activated oxygen
right
to disinfect and
She
neutralize
said,
bacteria.
this chick looked like she in
It's a scientific
violation.
breakthrough. No
I said,
CPAP
oh, she
user
said,
should
somebody
be
ain't sure
found. A
do.
dirty CPAP can make
That's
you
what do
sick,
that.
and just wiping
Come
your
back on
mask
my
doesn't do the
Get
trick.
on.
Pure PAP is speedy,
Call me.
hands-free, and
Call me
effective.
first.
Plus, it's
Don't come back in my room.
ultra-quiet and completely sanitizes your CPAP machine, mask,
There's enough
hose,
in
and
the front of
chamber.
our
Ready to get
already.
great sleep? Call
I
us to
was
find
out
out
there
how
for
you can
those.
try Pure PAP
Don't
free
come back
for
in my
30
room.
nights. And
Yeah. Call me
you
first.
can also get $50 off,
I said, that
plus
shit was
free
old.
shipping. Don't wait. Call or go to purepap.com.
I'm Jeff Zeleny in the final hours of the Biden campaign, and this is CNN.
127,000 votes in a key county in a key state. A federal judge just ruled the same way the state Supreme Court did. Votes cast at Harris County, Texas's drive-through polling centers, will be counted. Given the fact that Harris County's population is more than 26 states and it leans Democratic,
it matters, and that's why you should expect more litigation. Republicans already filed an appeal late today. My next guest
Why,
is the
though?
Harris County
Every vote
Clerk,
should be
Chris
counted.
Collins. Welcome to Prime Time. I know you're busy. Just one question.
You know what
Defend what you did in Harris County with
Everyone said
the
that they look
multiple drop boxes
like
against
with
the
those two characters,
criticism,
they
which is
dressed up as
you
them.
put
Jackie
drop boxes in
and
that county because it's democratic and you
probably
want to
High.
make it easier for people,
Yeah.
and that's not a fair
Everyone was
playing field in all the other counties, and that makes it an uneven playing field, and therefore there should only be one box.
Well, that's been the crux, Chris, of these arguments, that we're making it too easy to vote here in Harris County.
It's supposed to be easy to vote. Why should it be hard to vote?
But these despicable human beings have done something that very few other people can do, which is to unite Democrats and Republicans on a single issue. Tens of thousands of Democrats and tens of thousands of Republicans casted their ballots here in Harris County using drive-through voting, and they all want their votes to count. A Republican Texas Supreme Court unanimously threw out a challenge to drive-through voting, and now a conservative judge has done the same thing and ruled that all of these votes should be counted.
Yeah.
And so we're going to keep doing our job to protect the right to vote here in Harris County, Chris.
Texas law says you're supposed to be inside a building. Texas law says curbside voting only for people with disabilities. You're not following either of those.
Well, drive-through voting is not the same thing as curbside voting. It does say that on election day, you need to be inside a building. Our tents are buildings. It also says during early voting that you need to be inside a structure. Our tents are structures. And the judge sided with us on that today. And so we're confident going into election day that we will be offering drive-through voting to make sure that the 1 million voters who haven't cast their ballots yet have the same right to vote that the 1.4 million who already have voted were able to exercise.
One other flip on strategy here. You know they're going to appeal, so they lost at the Supreme Court level in the state. They said there's a constitutional issue, so they went to the trial level of federal court, district court. They lost, but they can appeal and go to the circuit court. Should you change strategy now, and instead of risking losing all these votes, if you lose at the appellate level?
Well, we're not playing this game of if we lose and Democrats and Republicans and how does that help Biden or Trump. We're talking about protecting their right to vote and giving them unparalleled access to the ballot. We are operating in the bounds of the law, and we always have been. We're going to continue doing so, and we're going to fight to the end to protect the right to vote for everyone here in Harris County, Chris.
You know, the only thing is, I don't like that in the hearing the judge said he would have blocked drive-through voting from being offered on election day. It shows that there is a way to look at this from different perspectives. Every time you go to court, you can get a different reckoning. So I appreciate you talking to us about what could be a very dangerous game. Collins, thank you, and good luck with the security of the entire process.
Thanks so much. Have a great evening.
All right, Harris County is not alone. Litigation is always part of our electoral system, and it should be. But you have to recognize it for what it is. It's a chance for disputes to be argued on their merits. See, that's not what the president wants, though. Mm-hmm. He wants the system working as a call to violence in our streets, as he said tonight. If I don't get my way, people should go nuts. My next guest is a powerhouse of election law. Bob Bauer, former co-chair of the Presidential Commission on Election Administration in 2013, now a senior advisor to the Biden campaign. Counselor, welcome to Prime Time.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'll tell you, let's start with this Texas, and then I want to talk Pennsylvania. But in Texas, so the district court judge says he would have blocked drive-through voting from being offered on election day. That is a little scary from the Harris County perspective, because they are going to have basically drive-through voting tomorrow. What do you see as the plus-minus on that litigation there in Harris County?
Twice, Texas Supreme Court has rejected the effort to stop this curbside voting, and in particular to throw out the ballots already cast. And now this judge, quite frankly, somebody not everybody was convinced would do it, simply refused to throw those 127,000 ballots out. So there may have been, some musing on his part in that opinion. Not quite sure where he wanted to take that thought. But at the end of the day, those 127,000 votes were protected, and this voting will continue. So I think that's really what matters here.
Yeah, it's also, I don't even think he issued an opinion. I think that was just dicta during the hearing. Just things he was saying. Simply put, Counselor, why do you believe what Harris County is doing is okay?
This was a state law decision that Robert Brown state law, and I think entirely defensible on that grounds. And beyond that, we're now at a stage, and this is a critical point, where voters are acting on advice that they've received from election officials. They're told to vote a certain way, that the rules are set up a certain way, they vote accordingly. That reliance, that voter reliance on the rules as explained to them is fundamental. And we've seen an indication, even in some of the language of our Supreme Court decisions, in some of the cases that have been decided just in the last couple of months, language to the effect that this voter reliance has to be respected. And I think that's what we're seeing across the country. These late filed lawsuits that are intended to upset the voting system and to defeat the voters' legitimate reliance on what they were told the rules were simply will not stand. I don't think the courts will stand for it. And the Republicans are now showing up in the 11th hour, attempting to change the rules on voters who were told and had every reason to believe the rules were as they were and voted accordingly. Those votes will be protected.
What about Pennsylvania, where the argument is, well, this wasn't what the legislature did with its absentee ballot law. This is what a court did in deciding to extend the deadline, and therefore that's wrong, and that extension of days after the election day to count the ballots should be nullified.
As Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts observed later in a subsequent case, what distinguishes Pennsylvania is that that ballot extension was approved by a Pennsylvania State Supreme Court under the Pennsylvania Constitution. And it's very clear that that affected votes on the United States Supreme Court, and it's the reason why that Pennsylvania State Supreme Court decision still stands. A number of these cases are different in their procedural posture and on their facts. Pennsylvania is different for that reason, but I'm quite confident that those votes will be counted. I realize that the Republicans in Pennsylvania want to continue to be litigated. I think they will fail.
Bob Bauer, thank you very much for being with us on an all-important night. The next few days will be spoken about for decades to come. We'll be right back.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I saved up some money and then found the home of my dreams. But my home of my dreams needs some work.
So if I was the first lender that even offered a personal loan, and I didn't even know that was an option.
The personal loan let us renovate our single-family house into a multi-unit home.
And I got to live in this beautiful house with this beautiful kitchen, and it's all thanks to SoFi.
When I'm not running, I'm wearing Loofahs.
They're the best part about working from home.
My go-to shoes for comfort and recovery. Order today at Loofahs.com. Feel better. Feel you. Calm. Download the free app now.
Now is the time for a new bath from Bathfitter. Every Bathfitter bath is installed quickly, safely, and beautifully.
Bless you.
With a lifetime warranty. Go from old to new, from warm to wow. The beautiful bath you always wanted, done right, installed by one expert technician, all in one day. We've been creating moments like these for 35 years. And we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual in-home design consultation today.
Each year, Americans waste over $21 billion by overpaying on car insurance. Enter the Zebra.
Another car insurance ad?
No, the Zebra compares them all and shows you who can actually save you money. Compare car insurance for free at thezebra.com.
My lips get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keefe's Lip Repair. It's all-day moisture in one use and is guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked lips.
Also available in O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands.
A small thing like Corgi krill oil can make a big difference for our health. From pure Antarctic waters, krill are an omega-3 force of nature and supports immune, heart, brain, joint, eye, and skin health. The ocean's superior omega.
The race ends here.
CNN can bring it to you. Election night in America tomorrow. Special coverage starts at 4. If you use the CPAP system, chances are you're not really getting it clean. The health risks of a contaminated CPAP can be risky because it introduces germs into your CPAP machine, mask, hose, and chamber, leading to multiple health problems from viruses and infections. Introducing PurePAP, the portable CPAP cleaner that kills more than 99% of the bacteria that can cause health problems. Use the same revolutionary technology used by hospitals with PurePAP. Activated oxygen is used to disinfect and neutralize bacteria and mildew. It's a scientific breakthrough no CPAP user should be without. A dirty CPAP can make you sick, and just wiping your mask doesn't do the trick. PurePAP is speedy, hands-free, and effective. Plus, it's portable, ultra-quiet, sanitizes your CPAP machine, mask, hose, and chamber. Ready to get great sleep? Call us to find out how you can try PurePAP free for 30 nights. And for a limited time, you can also get $50 off, plus free shipping. Don't wait. Call or go to purepap.com.
I'm Jeff Zeleny in the final hours of the Biden campaign, and this is CNN.
All right, now is when it matters. I'll be back midnight Eastern as we kick off CNN's live, non-stop coverage of Election Day in America. Now it is time for the big show. CNN Tonight with Captain Tweed.
I don't know how this is going to play out tomorrow. I'm going to be
Wow, you should have a pick
on
on
the
it
interstate and driving
and do
around
some
all
election
day
deducing.
tomorrow. Get up early, go to the store, get the groceries. Just in case we got to stay inside for a couple of days. They're going to be out there with that shooting and violence and stuff. Why? Because they're going to be mad. Trump already told his Proud Boys.
Well,
They
the
already
powerful
did
man in the
so.
universe telling you that there's going to be violence in the streets if
Don't
things
be
don't
violent.
go the
They
way
hear
he
people
wants.
saying this.
It can make people feel electric happy.
Yeah, well, I
Don't
think
be
people should ignore
violent. That's why they feeling a whole, you see the gate they feeling around the
Ignore
White
the
House.
noise and ignore anyone who tells you
It's going to be
they know
history,
what's
baby.
going to
This
happen.
ain't going to be
Ignore
nothing nice.
anyone
I
who
want
tries
y'all
to
to see
push
how
you
they
towards
boarding up all
violence.
the clothes
Ignore
and stuff.
anyone who
I
tries
already
to push
seen
you
it.
away from facts
I didn't
and
see it.
science, as we have been saying on our programs for the past 4 years. So I think people should ignore that. And I hope that there is
They're
no
going to have some problems out there in
very strong faith
Houston,
in
too.
America.
Because I bet you them Proud Boys
And
going to go
if
out
they
there in
do,
Houston because Trump
because
is
the
mad.
president said
I
so,
know
then
he
that's
fired
gonna
up
be a
that
lie.
judge was put on both sides.
While I still prefer ignore the noise, focus on poise because it rhymes and is succinct,
came up with it.
I will tell you this. I didn't come up with it, but I'll tell you why there is reason for hope. We don't usually talk about hope, but here's why there's reason for hope. When people are angry, they quit on systems, they quit on processes. They don't believe in them anymore. Look at the legendary, historic turnout we have had already.
But that's why I tell people to calm down, because there is, again, no one knows what's going to happen, but you can, that does portend some things for the president and for Joe Biden. When you look at the turnout in certain areas.
Or it spurs this
That
president
is
to
going
a
to be
new term.
violent.
Hopefully it carries a mandate of doing more than the other.
More like he's telling people to be violent. I said more like he's telling people to be violent.
Yeah, he telling you see how the people worship and praise him? They going to do exactly what he tells them to do. If he tell them to go out there and hurt people, that's what they going to do. You see how they surrounded that bus?
What bus? I didn't see none of this stuff. I didn't see that
They
actually.
had surrounded, they gonna show it again, they show it all day. They show,
Look, as long as people are willing to use their voice that way,
out here in Texas,
exercise the
2
franchise,
days
I think
ago.
it actually reduces chances of people doing
Biden
it
numbers
the
out
wrong way.
here, they had a
Because you see
campaign.
that people are buying into the system
They
in a way
had
that we've never
6
seen before.
colors
That's all
of
good. But we
people
will be together, my brother, and we will
followed the Biden bus on the interstate and surrounded
Oh, yeah,
them.
I see
Yeah, and try to run them off the road.
I didn't see that.
Remember whenever the Trump,
No, like on TV, I haven't seen that all
And
today.
then 2 of the cars ended up hitting each other.
I'm gonna take all that black and white stuff out of your office and I'm gonna put some.
There is nothing else.
Colors. All right, I gotta run.
Dear Lemon, I love you.
It's good to
We're
see you.
living history. What
Thank
a
you.
night tonight is.
Yes, thank you, brother. Thank you. Hello, everyone. This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don Lemon. In the big studio, I can actually, I don't know if you guys can see around this, but we are, this is the
This is it.
Yeah,
This is it. Everyone is kicked into high gear. The news networks are in the high
2 hours
gear.
until 11.
People at home are engaged. They're watching.
2 hours.
Because this is it. We're in the middle of a
12
pandemic.
o'clock, it starts election day.
We are following.
They're going to be on from tonight.
Oh, I thought you said
From
man.
12 o'clock
Wait,
tonight
I
all the way up until 12 o'clock the next day.
no,
Live.
I thought you were just talking about the
To
voting.
this. You know who President Trump is.
You have the power to vote. So go out and vote. Unless you're going to vote for somebody other than me, in which case, sit it out.
Well, and you know who Joe Biden is.
My message is simple. The power to change this country is in your hands. I don't care how hard Donald Trump tries. There's nothing he can do to stop the people of this nation from voting, no matter how he tries.
So, and tomorrow you will choose, America. America will choose. Choose between those two men. Choose the future of this country moving forward. More than 3 million of us have already voted. That's more than 2/3 of the total votes cast in 2016. Can you believe that? That's a lot of people. And tomorrow, millions and millions more will stand up and be counted. They're going to wait in those lines. They're going to go to the polling places. They will make their voices heard because they need to be counted. We all need to be counted. Tonight, the president is making clear that he doesn't want all the votes to be counted. He is threatening the governor, Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania, accusing him of cheating for wanting to count every single vote, for making the voting process available to as many people as possible. That is the American way.
Yeah.
The president is saying that we're all watching you, governor, and he's making the outrageous claim that abiding by the Supreme Court's extension there and taking the time to count every legal vote makes it physically dangerous in Pennsylvania. What is that? What is that? What does that say about the President of the United States? What does that say about his fear that he's going to lose? He's threatening a governor and invoking violence? And then he doubled down on it again tonight on Twitter because that's what he does. I want you to hear me, everybody. And I want you to be ready, okay? Because again, as I said, you know who Joe Biden is, you know who this president is. I want you to be ready because the president is trying to make you think there is something wrong with counting legal ballots after Election Day. Here's the fact. The fact is we always count ballots after Election Day. Always. There's nothing unusual about that. It's never an official winner on election night. It's not. It's always just a projection. It's a projection made on television or by news organizations. That's all. It's not official. No one comes out and says, I officially declare. That doesn't happen. It is a projection by a news organization. And as we have seen over the past 4 years, all the norms that we abide by, like the projection, people believing in facts and numbers and math and counting, right? So we abided by these norms, but this president is just in this administration, just blown right through those norms. Everything that we have taken for granted, decency. So it is clear what the president is setting up to do if it's a close night. Which it may or may not be. Again, as I just told you, as I just said with Chris, nobody really knows. So